This warrant connects Atlanta rapper Lil Baby to the murders of two 13-year-olds in the Oakland City neighborhood last summer.
Atlanta police announced 7 arrests today in connection with the teens' deaths, along with the shooting of a 12-year-old. Atlanta News First Madeline Montgomery is live tonight outside Atlanta Police Headquarters. So, Madeline, police believe this stemmed from an incident during a rap music video?
That's right, and they wouldn't name the rapper in the news conference today, but they did name him in this arrest warrant, Dominique Jones, who goes by Lil Baby, and they say they are working around the clock until they can arrest him too.
We over here kicking it. We got Lil Baby shooting a video around here. Pull up, baby. Lil Baby just pulled up on us. You know, we doing it big around this mug.
You shot great, but you shot late. Holla at me. This is the Rundown Podcast.
I'm gonna give you the rundown.
Atlanta police are investigating after someone started shooting on the set of a music video. The shooting happened in northwest part of the city, and it took place while rapper Lil Baby was close by.
Say man, hey man, it's OG Jucario. Now back at you with another one. And y'all let me know what y'all think about Lil Baby. Trying to change the 4PF name at the last minute. Trying to say that 4PF is not a gang. When the feds already have it documented that an ongoing gang war between OMF, that's a subset of the Goodfellas, and 4PF, Lil Baby's crew, was the blame for some teenagers losing their lives and one 12-year-old being shot in a drive-by shooting. All because Lil Baby wanted to film a music video in the rival's neighborhood. And the commander-in-chief there of the police department called Lil Baby a coward. And his cowardly acts led to the demise of these young black men.
You know, if you hear a big rapper like Lil Baby shooting a video, it's going to be a big scene.
That's exactly right. And the residents we spoke to this morning say they were so excited to see Grammy Award-winning Lil Baby. But they say that excitement really quickly turned into fear when what they believe was a drive-by shooting occurred. And now Atlanta PD is investigating.
That happened, it was just too much for me.
Residents in the Dixie Hills neighborhood say Tuesday's shooting on Verbranda Street that occurred on the set of a music video featuring popular Atlanta rapper Lil Baby has them on edge.
We just heard pow, 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 and that thing over, and we grabbed the kids, and everybody was just running. It was a whole bunch of chaos.
The Atlanta Police Department's Violent Crime Unit is now investigating the incident that left 3 people shot. Officials say one person was hit in the arm, another in the neck, and a third in the back. And while all are expected to survive, police say the shooting may be part of a bigger problem with gang activity.
Several of the individuals in the city that are involved in some of these hybrid rap performance groups are involved in certain conflicts throughout the city. So us as a city of Atlanta, we do want to be proactive in making sure that our gang unit is on scene and at the on front of any potential matters that could escalate as a result of a shooting of this nature.
Woke Folks says children and other bystanders were also on scene of the music video when the about 30 shots rang out. And as police try to piece together who's responsible and what led up to the shooting, neighbors we spoke to say the violence is getting out of hand.
It's ridiculous that you can't come outside and have a good time or show some love in the neighborhood because you always want to argue, fight, and shoot and kill, and that's a problem. They need to take these damn guns off the street.
The Atlanta Police Department said they received a call on July 2nd, 2024 about a person shot along Spark Street. When officers arrived, they found 3 juveniles with gunshot wounds. Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman, both 13, were killed in the shooting. A 12-year-old victim was also injured. Police say that the suspects opened fire on the Spark Street apartment complex where Freeman and his friends were celebrating his birthday.
Now, a Channel 2 Action News exclusive. The father of an 11-year-old boy injured in a deadly shooting tells Channel 2 Action News that his son has had multiple surgeries since he got shot in the foot. Channel 2's Michael Seiden live outside APD headquarters. Michael, the 11-year-old victim, is the younger brother of one of the teenagers who got killed in that shooting.
Yeah, George, just a heartbreaking story. In fact, this afternoon, I stood just feet away from where that deadly shooting took place. I also spoke exclusively with one of the homicide detectives. She told me she and her team are working around the clock, 24/7. They are following up on any leads they can get, also knocking on neighbors' doors, looking for some security video. A growing memorial near the spot where gun violence shattered the lives of 3 innocent children. It all happened around 12:30 a.m. Tuesday in Atlanta's Oakland Park neighborhood. Today, we watched as homicide detectives spread out across the area as they continue to search for suspects. Not a secret, there are gangs in this area. There's been some reports of possibly a gang war going on, and these kids got caught up in the crossfire. What can you say about that?
All I can tell you is these young kids, they had absolutely no ties to gangs.
Police say Lamont Freeman was celebrating his 14th birthday with his best friend and classmate, 13-year-old Jacody Davis. Jacody's younger brother, 11-year-old Dontavius Davis Jr., was also there when the 3 boys found themselves under attack.
They were hanging out with each other right outside their apartments.
The gunfire killed Lamont and Jacody, but Dontavius survived after getting shot in the foot. Dontavius' father shared this photo of his son recovering in a hospital bed.
Every kid wants to feel free and feel safe right outside their home, and they were ambushed.
There were innocent kids who go to Sylvan Middle School. This could be your kids, your family member, your loved ones.
Now, people, particularly in the hip-hop music community, are demanding more security at these music videos. If you look here behind me, you can actually still see the crime scene tape wrapped around that pole over there. Witnesses say in this very spot is where at least 30 gunshots were fired.
Artists got to take the responsibility for themselves, man. This is your life.
A personal plea from revered Atlanta rapper and activist Pastor Troy.
Man, there's so much violence.
Here along Verbena Street in Northwest Atlanta Tuesdays, where a simple music video shoot turned into an actual shooting.
It caught everyone here by surprise.
Atlanta police say someone took out a gun and opened fire. People in the area, including many children, ducked for cover while nearly 30 gunshots went off. 3 people were shot, 1 person shot in the arm, the other in the neck, and a 3rd person shot in the back. They all survived.
The people that were shot were not a part of the video production team.
Now, witnesses here told us that the rapper Lil Baby was here on the scene, but he left well before the shooting started. As for those victims, Atlanta police told me they are interviewing the victims, trying to get more information about this shooting.
After the incident, OMF members on the 2500 block of Center Street, several miles north, were targeted, and an innocent victim was murdered, which led to back-to-back retaliatory shootings between the gangs, according to the warrant. On June 29th, OMF member Trevante Turner was killed at a location on Peyton Place in southwest Atlanta, which police said is OMF territory. Police learned that Turner's death led to multiple OMF members congregating through social media and wireless devices on plans to retaliate for the death of Turner against 4PF members. Several days later, Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman were killed in a triple shooting on Spark Street.
A lot of neighbors, a lot of families, even kids were there when those bullets were flying around in that community.
Neighbors here frustrated that this music video shoot ended the way that it did. One woman who was caught in the middle of the crossfire tells me she's lucky to be alive.
Between the bullets, it was nothing but bullets, pop, 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 pop.
At least 25 shots fired.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was just a concert. I was waiting for Lil Baby to come by my tacos up.
Chastity Hill says she got caught in the middle. 2 people were shot next to her. A video she took before the shooting shows rapper Lil Baby on set of the music video.
Baby, there he go, y'all.
I thought it was just a prop for the video shoot, but then we found out later it was something different.
Eric Haynes in the homes across the street. His 7-year-old daughter outside when the shots rang out.
I heard shooting.
What did it sound like?
Pow, pow, pow.
Tonight, he's glad she's safe.
Blessed. Of course I'm blessed. I would never want to have anything happen to my daughter.
But the frustration between this community continues to grow.
We have had several shootings, several killings in the district, unfortunately. I actually on the way to a neighborhood meeting now, the Dixie Hills Neighborhood Association meeting, to talk about things like this. And then I got this call and came here. So it's frustrating. It's all hands on deck.
Now, 2 months back, Lil Baby tried to get ahead of the curve, and he tried to end 4PF because he knew that the feds were on him, And the 4PF name, 4 Pockets Full, also being a gang name in the streets, was also affiliated with his record label. So he had to end the 4PF, and he renamed it Glass Window for that exact reason of being affiliated with a gang and ties to that gang, and Lil Baby being responsible for whatever the gang did, being connected to the 4PF name, caused him to have to change it up and switch it up. But apparently it's too late, because law enforcement there in Atlanta is linking him to the murders of these 2 teens during this deadly gang war that's going on right now, still to this day, between the Goodfellas and 4PF.
You went from 4PF to Glass Ceiling.
Glass Window.
Right.
And of course, 4 Pockets Full had to come to an end.
Why you say of course?
Because all that be going on. And I had to start learning that other people's actions I could be held accountable for.
Right.
I ain't know all that at first. You know what I'm saying? I never would have went that route, but I ain't know. Now that I know, I'd be a fool to just keep the same thing going. They trying to make something out of something that it ain't, because the way they trying to set it up as a system, they gonna try to use it as a game. And it's really the like target. And there's some people who do act as gangs, but that ain't everybody.
Right.
I'm really on the phone with my lawyers looking out the window, and I named it Glass Window. Don't got nothing to do with nobody. It don't got to do with nobody. No name.
Rapper Lil Baby tried to denounce the 4PF name and disown the gang ties to the 4PF street gang, but now the feds have all the information they need because of wiretaps. And this information comes from an inmate who was locked down, a high-ranking gang member who ordered the hit, a retaliatory shooting against Lil Baby and the 4PF crew while they were shooting that music video in that rival's neighborhood. Lil Baby explained to Yachty that he didn't know he could be held responsible for other people's actions, other gang members' actions, to be exact. And now that he found that out, it's pretty much too late, because now an arrest warrant has been issued for Dominique Jones, aka Lil Baby, for the involvement in those murders. The case is still ongoing, and Atlanta Police Department gave a news conference update on the matter.
In just a moment, I'm going to show you some pictures of 7 individuals that we were able to take into custody in conjunction with this tragic incident. I stood here and told you the story how on July 2nd, just after midnight of last year, we had 2 13-year-olds and 11-year-old celebrating the birthday of Lamont Fremont. He had just turned 13, and he got to experience about 30 minutes of being a teenager before his life was taken. And when I turn it over to Major Woolfolk, he's going to discuss some of the investigative techniques and really the gang involvement and the gang ties that led to this incident taking place. But one thing I want to make absolutely clear, and I said it then and I'll say it again, these kids were innocent victims. So when we talk about the gang involvement, these 2 13-year-olds and this 11-year-old, they didn't have a gang involvement. We didn't have interactions with them as a police department. They were good kids in the community, and unfortunately, you know, their futures, their lives were taken. So right now we're going to show some images of the individuals that we have made arrest on. So 5 of these individuals we already had in custody, we had arrested. Some of them were in jail on previous charges not related to this. So once we established probable cause, we're able to serve the jails in which they're housed with these arrest warrants. So the first one there is Mr. Sanders. Just flip in. Richard Hollis. Reginald Thomas. Marcus Crawford. Mr. Mobley. Tradon Crawford. And Tradon is one of the individuals that we took into custody yesterday. And then the final 7th individual is Mr. Ollie Caldwell. If you notice with these individuals, 2 of them share the same last name. It's because they are brothers. So it seems like there was some type of family history of gang activity, gang involvement. And unfortunately, on the night of July 2nd, that escalated to 2 13-year-old children losing their lives.
My name is Major Ralph Woolfolk of the Violent Crime Interdiction Section. And I first want to say The overall theme of this case is grown men playing gangster that left 2 of our children in graves and a community in fear. And we know in these communities that strength is about building community, not destroying it. And in this case, leaving 2 young people in their grave. I want to thank the community that was here with our investigation team from the inception of this incident. Out on the night of the incident, we not only received investigative assistance from this community, but we also saw a community that was full of compassion and love. Video evidence depicted several people in this community pouring out of their apartments, attempting to triage wounds, attempting to transport persons to the hospital, and making several 911 calls from this community that were used throughout our investigation that led ultimately, with their assistance, to some of the apprehensions in this case. I want to also thank the FBI, who has not only been an incredible partner to us throughout this investigation, but has also been a consistent partner to us throughout our fight, as Chief Shearbaum always says, against gangs, guns, and drugs. We have had a consistent partnership with the FBI that has aided us in suppressing our violent crime. And for the investigation aspect of this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence that was orchestrated by adults in our city, and cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw homicides and shootings, and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions. Ultimately, there are components of this investigation that led back to a prison in the state of Georgia where an illegal phone, a contraband phone, was used to orchestrate these acts. There was a hit called by a high-ranking gang member on the opposite side of that opposing rapper's gang. And I'll tell you today, that gang was Goodfellas. Goodfellas Criminal Street Gang being one of the most hyper-violent gangs in the city of Atlanta. And we will pursue you relentlessly in making sure that we keep this city safe and suppressing violence throughout our city. And lastly, I'll say, as Major Malecki indicated, there is still a $50,000 reward that is on the table for additional information in relationship to this case. And our detectives and our officers, through all of the internal units and external units that you see here today, will be knocking on doors and working with this community that has been so resilient to collect additional information to continue to move this investigation forward. Thank you.
During a news conference, Atlanta Police Department say that they believe that the shooting resulted from a hit called by in-prison high-ranking member of the Goodfellas Criminal Street Gang using a contraband cell phone from inside the prison. The order was allegedly in response to an Atlanta rapper filming a music video in a rival gang territory months before. APD Homicide Commander Ralph Woolfolk called the gang hyper-violent, and he said that Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life, Woolfolk said. Gang violence that was orchestrated by adults in our city, and cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang's stronghold and shoot a music video in a place he knew he should have not been. Woolfolk didn't name the Atlanta-based rapper, but an arrest warrant confirms that he was Lil Baby, whose real name is Dominique Jones. The warrant says that Jones is an affiliate of 4 Pockets Full, 4PF, described by police as a criminal street gang, involved in a long-running feud with Only My Family, OMF, a subset of the Goodfellas gang. Last May, Jones went to film a music video on the 2100 block of Verbena Street an area known to be frequented by OMF members. Before the video shoot could take place, Jones and his associates were shot at by multiple assailants, the warrant says. Police said that 3 people were injured in the shooting and Lil Baby was nearly struck. After the incident at the video shoot, a series of linked aggravated assaults and homicides took place in the following weeks between the 2 gangs, the warrant says. 7 people have been arrested in connection to that 2024 triple shooting on Spark Street that left 2 teenagers dead and a 12-year-old injured in Atlanta's Oakland City neighborhood, police announced on Wednesday. The suspects have been identified as Richard Hollis, Ali Cardwell, Reginald Thomas, Marcus Crawford, Queontae Sanders, DeKeithian Mabel, and Traydon Crawford. And those 2 Crawford guys are related.
He got to experience about 30 minutes of being a teenager before his life was taken.
Since July of last year, Atlanta police and the FBI have been seeking justice in the deaths of 13-year-olds Lamont Freeman and Jacody Davis.
They're all celebrating a birthday party when gang violence and gun violence found its way to Spark Street.
Davis's 12-year-old brother was shot and injured as well. 8 months later, 7 arrests have been made.
It's Mr. Sanders, Richard Hollis, Reginald Thomas.
But there's one person police still want to hold accountable.
Cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been.
Although they didn't name him at today's news conference, arrest warrants disclosed Dominique Jones, aka Lil Baby, is the rapper Atlanta police still have their eye on.
And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible.
Atlanta police are blaming the actions of a local rapper for the shooting deaths of 2 13-year-olds.
In a news conference this afternoon, the department announced it's made 7 arrests in the shooting and is still offering $50,000 in reward money for information that leads to more. Tonight, 11 Alive has confirmed rapper Lil Baby is named in arrest warrants in the shooting deaths of 13-year-olds Lamont Freeman and Jacody Davis. The shooting happened last summer in the Oakland City West End apartments on Peoples Street. Police described it as gang violence escalated by a Lil Baby music video shoot. Investigators say members of the Goodfellas gang orchestrated the attack from behind bars using a contraband cell phone.
We'll now open up for questions. We'll start on that side with Tom Regan.
Yeah, well, these 3 juveniles, I mean, was it a crossfire situation? Were they targeted? Was there a gun battle between rival gang elements?
No, there was not. We do believe that the 3 juveniles, 2 who were killed, 1 who was injured, they were just outside on the steps celebrating a birthday party. We don't believe that they were the intended targets of that gunfire. But these individuals that we have shown indiscriminately opened fire on that apartment complex, resulting in these 3 children getting injured and killed.
And one quick follow-up question. The person who made the call for a hit from prison, that isn't one of the people that were already in jail. This is another individual we're talking about.
Yeah, the individual that orchestrated this from Hancock State Prison, he was already incarcerated.
So he's going to be charged in this, of course, too.
Yeah, he has been charged.
The shooting of these 3 children shocked and saddened this entire community. Atlanta police vowed to track down those responsible, and after an investigation that spanned many months and included wiretapping, they made these arrests.
Police say the 7 men arrested are gang members who were in the midst of a turf rivalry when they shot and killed 2 13-year-old children, including Lamont Freeman, as they celebrated his birthday July 2nd.
And I'll tell you today, that gang was Goodfellas.
Some who live in the neighborhood welcome news of the arrest, but doubt it'll stop gang violence.
The Atlanta office of the FBI assisted APD in this lengthy and very complicated investigation. We're told that 5 of those who were arrested were already in jail on other charges.
So y'all get in the comment section and y'all let me know what y'all think about this entire situation. And until the next time, this is OG Jucario TV with the latest in rap, hip-hop, celebrity, and urban news. You're watching the Rundown Podcast. I appreciate everybody for spinning with me. I appreciate all my subscribers for sliding with your boy every time. And say, man, hey, man, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button, and look, turn on post notification so we can slide whenever I get the drop. You already know what it is, man. It's deep in the Buddha her, you hear me? And guess what? I'm gone.